Hello everyone, welcome back to Auto Trend TV. I am here with Prajesh again from Ramani Volkswagen Coimbatore today, and I am here with the brand new Volkswagen Polo TSI 6-speed automatic Highline variant. I am going to judge how does this new 6-speed torque converter automatic transmission perform on Coimbatore roads, be it in the city or on the highways when you compare with the 7-speed old DSG. So let's go on for a detailed test drive. Yes folks, I am right now inside the new Volkswagen Polo Highline GT TSI automatic variant, and this is the brand new torque converter 6-speed automatic transmission which replaces the 7-speed DSG. So the Volkswagen Polo has remained exactly the same since 2010 in terms of styling, body design, interior design and everything. However, there have been feature updates, and this one is the major one yet. This is a brand new 6-speed torque converter unit which is mated to the very same 1-liter 3-cylinder TSI turbo petrol engine, which has been very impressive on the manual. So let's see how does this engine perform with this 6-speed torque converter unit. So let's just start the car to judge the NVH first. So that was all the NVH you get. No vibrations whatsoever, and the noise is kept at bare minimum. It is very refined, especially for a 3-cylinder. There is no vibration whatsoever. So let's just start the car and move on. Well, the initial feel itself is that it is very eager to move, and it's very responsive as well. So even if you want to take the speed bumps in, say, second gear, it is very easily possible. The ride quality is very good. Yeah, I mean, these are the bad roads of mid Coimbatore, and still on these roads the Polo feels very compliant. There is none of that shudder related to the suspension that filters inside the cabin to your neck. At low speeds this feels so comfortable. There is no NVH, no vibration whatsoever, and yeah, even on certain bad stretches as well, the chassis feels really very stable as well. So for now I am on a sort of free stretch on Marudamalai Road, Coimbatore, and well, we are experiencing some sort of moderate traffic today. Let's just press on. This engine, as you already know, is very enthusiastic, very fun to drive. It has got the punch, the feel you need. It produces 110 PS of maximum power and a torque output of 175 Newton meters. So it feels properly fun. It is a proper car for enthusiasts. That's what I said on the manual version, and this automatic variant too feels exactly the same, except for the fact that there is no clutch for you to hassle with. Brakes too are exceptionally well. Of course, you do not get all-wheel disc brakes, which is of course reserved for only premium sedans, but even with rear drums and front disc brake setup, the overall feel is really very good. Now I am just about to take reverse because I have to take a U-turn. As I already said, I am experiencing moderate traffic today, and the steering is very light. Well, this is an electronic power steering. However, it does not feel as light and dead as some Hyundai cars, but it is properly feelsome. It feels really very in control. It feels direct, and if you just raise your speeds, it feels very communicative as well. So I'm just catching up with speed now, and within no time I have reached 80. I just encountered a corner at 80 km/h, and this car is amazing in terms of stability. The wheels, the grip, everything is beautiful. The brakes work fantastically well, and of course this car also gets electronic stability control, traction control and hill hold assist, so you don't need to worry about stability and high speed maneuverability as well. So even on certain bad stretches at high speeds, this feels so very composed, so stable, so lovely. That's what I gotta say. So let's just go for a free stretch now. So here's a very free stretch on, say, mid Coimbatore, and I'm just slotting it into sports mode and just putting my foot down. There is that immediate kick down from the transmission and the engine, and within no time I'm doing 100. So this is how a sports mode should be, and that is how it is. So if you want to have proper fun, just put it into sports mode and you can forget literally everything. So yes folks, I have got a free stretch on the Marudamalai road. Well, as I already said, there is a bit of moderate traffic, but still I'm going to try some speed stuff, because there is an auto rickshaw which can help me judge the braking, and as you can see, the body control, the suspension control, everything is perfect. And now I'm putting my foot down. Within no time I am doing 80, and this engine can go even further without any sweat. So now I'm putting it into sports mode, which just improves the throttle response even further. The gears are carried to the higher RPMs before upshifting, and we have got a speed bump here. Yeah, so the overall body control is amazing. Whatever speed you are carrying, even on such back roads of Coimbatore, I am literally enjoying this car on such curvy roads. Of course, the horn is kind of meek. It is not the best in terms of sound, but still, of course, people who are purchasing a Volkswagen car will definitely go for aftermarket horn options, but still it is fine. Well, it is not recommended that you should drive like this with your Volkswagen Polo. I am driving like this to show you how does the chassis and the engine perform on such conditions. Now, as I already said, I'm in sports mode and there is no lag whatsoever. Even if I put it into regular drive mode and leave it in higher gears, I just put my right foot just that slight bit down, and there is immediate response. There is no turbo lag whatsoever. This engine is beautifully tuned, and in this moderate traffic condition, I would like to point out the manual mode as well. This transmission also gets a manual mode, which can help you control the gears manually. Well, as you can see, I am now in second gear. The MID is indicating second. Even if I put my foot down for keeping the car moving, there is no lag whatsoever. Of course, it is asking me to upshift. So to upshift, you have to push the transmission lever forward, and even in third gear, well, there is enough shove to keep the car moving. So the turbo lag is bare minimum. It is very negligible, and this car is proper fun to drive in any gear and has got the power in any gear you ask for. So to downshift, of course, in the manual mode, you have to push the transmission lever down, and you can easily overtake if you downshift. So this is one engaging transmission, and according to me, this transmission is even faster and quicker and even smoother than the DSG, and I guess that this will even be more reliable than the DSG as well, because this is a fluid based torque converter transmission, so it is likely to be more reliable than the DSG. We are re-entering the city now, so that's the reason for this traffic. Yeah, as you already saw, the braking is very excellent. The body control is really very good. The brakes are sharp. That is the reason for this confidence. Even if you are going to higher speeds, you know that you will stop on time. That is quite nice. Of course, well, let's just take you through quickly the features on this car. This is the Highline GT TSI variant. This is not the Highline Plus. This variant costs a certain bit higher than the Highline Plus. However, the Highline Plus has a certain few features additionally when you compare to this one, such as a center armrest. This GT TSI does not get a center armrest, and neither does it get rear AC vents. However, this GT TSI gets GT inspired rear spoiler, those diffuser things, the body kits and all, to provide a more sportier appeal and look to this Volkswagen Polo. Apart from that, everything remains exactly the same. You get the beautiful leather wrap steering wheel with a flat bottom. You get cruise control. You also get a 7-inch touchscreen system with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink. You also get rear windshield wiper, washer, defogger, automatic climate control, and one-touch up and down functions for all the power windows. And you also get auto folding ORVMs. So everything is there in this car except for reverse parking camera and the center armrest. That Highline Plus variant, on the other hand, is exactly the same except for the addition of a center armrest, another 12-volt charging socket and rear AC vents. So that's it. Well, there are a lot of erratic people on the road, so in order to dodge them, the Polo is the perfect car to do so. And it is even more perfect because the dimensions are very, very compact. This is a premium hatchback, however, the dimensions are really very compact, and the build quality, the robustness of the engineering of this car is simply unmatched in this category. That's what I would say. As you can see, I have been driving this car, say, for an hour, well, more than an hour, and it feels so robust. It feels like no other car I have driven, be it in terms of mechanical stuff or even the electronics and all. Everything is so very thoroughly engineered. As you can see, well, these are the kind of people you will find in the cities. Yeah, even if you want to have some fun, this is the car to have. So if you are a driving enthusiast purely for driving, if you want a compact hatchback which has an automatic transmission, this is the only proper enthusiast hatchback which provides you with a lot of fun while also being reasonably economical as well. So as I already said, the economy of this Volkswagen Polo GT TSI automatic is really impressive for a turbo petrol automatic hatchback, given the fact that I have been driving like a total idiot in city roads, and despite the fact that I have been driving like that, this car is giving me around 14 km per liter, and that is seriously impressive. I mean, if you want to have fun, this is the hatchback. However, you no need to compromise on the mileage as well. So this is a proper all-rounder if you have a small family. So this is probably the best enthusiast hatchback with a turbocharged petrol engine. Until the i20 turbo petrol launches, well, we are yet to judge how does the i20 turbo petrol with a DCT automatic performs. The i20 will be launching really very soon, so we'll be judging that later. But for now, the Polo is the one to have if you are an enthusiast for a petrol automatic hatchback. So let's just get on and conclude this review once we get back.
So the Volkswagen Polo has always been the exact same car in terms of silhouette and overall design since its launch in 2010. This being the top spec GT TSI Highline variant, you get certain external cosmetic additions. However, there is no projector headlamps and neither do you get LED DRLs. On the sides, however, you get to see these 16-inch gunmetal grey alloy wheels which look really very good and very classy. You can also see that this GT TSI Highline variant also gets side body skirts along with diffuser like elements on the front and rear bumpers. The rear design of the Volkswagen Polo has of course remained the same as well. However, this GT TSI variant gets specific badging on the C-pillars. At the rear, the Volkswagen Polo still looks very classy, and you can see this massive spoiler on the top which really looks very good. You also get rear windshield wiper washer and defogger as standard on both variants, and only on this GT TSI variant you get to see these diffuser like elements on the rear bumper. No reverse parking camera whatsoever even after all these years. So that was a quick walk around of the exterior of the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI Highline automatic variant. Let's get inside now.
Yes folks, right now I'm inside the new Volkswagen Polo GT TSI Highline variant, and this is how the dashboard looks like. This is called the GT TSI variant because this is the top spec variant of the TSI lineup. However, you can see that this variant lacks a certain few features when you compare with the regular Highline Plus variant, such as a center armrest. As you can see, there is no center armrest on this GT TSI variant, and neither do you get rear AC vents. However, everything else is exactly the same. You get the same leather wrap steering wheel, you get the same beautiful flat bottom steering wheel as well, as you can see, and this steering wheel is also tilt and telescopically adjustable, the only one in this category except for the new upcoming i20. The center console, of course, remains exactly the same. The design is nothing much to write home about. It is very standard, remained exactly the same since the Polo's launch in 2010. So this is the touchscreen system which gets Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and as you can see, it has got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink connectivity as well. So this is very good. The audio quality is decent. It provides 4 speakers as standard, so it is okay. It also gets USB aux connectivity along with SD card port as well. The automatic climate control console is over here right below the touchscreen system, and the cooling of this climate control is also very good. Now coming to typical Volkswagen Polo highlights, you can see that this car, despite being, say, a premium hatchback, does not get a push button start, and it gets this very same flip key since its launch. So it remains exactly the same. You have to slot the key inside to start the car. Let me just start the car. So this is how everything looks like when everything is turned on, and let me just turn on the aircon. So this here is the digital MID at the center of the instrument cluster gauge. The speedometer is on the right side, the tachometer is on the left side. Nothing much to write home about over here as well. It is plain, direct and very simple. You can of course change the displays using these buttons over here. You get odometer, trip meter, and well, you also get time. This here is the fuel economy meter. The fuel economy meter can be reset by pressing this OK button on the steering wheel. As you can see, I have just reset it and it is 0. So other displays available over here are the running time. This here is the engine temperature and the external temperature as well. The next one is the running average speed, and this here is the digital speedometer, and this here is the distance to empty. So these are the displays available on the MID. Lower down here is the actual fuel gauge, and this here is the trip meter over here. So it is very simple, very easy to use, and still very informative as usual. Now coming to the center console, again you can see that the AC vents, everything remain exactly the same as 10 years ago. However, this being the automatic variant, you get standard electronic stability control and traction control with hill hold assist on the automatic variants alone. So only 2 variants offer the automatic option, namely the Highline GT TSI and the Highline Plus. So both of these variants get ESP, traction control and hill hold as standard. So that was all about that. Coming lower down on the center console, you get the very same couple cup holders with a 12-volt charging socket over here and a nice storage bin over there just behind that. This here is the 6-speed torque converter automatic transmission lever, which is exactly the same as the DSG lever, and well, it is easy to operate. It is clearly displayed over here such that it has got parking, reverse, neutral, drive and sports mode, and to shift it into sports mode you have to just push the gear lever towards the left, and you can control the gears manually by pushing forward and backward. So that was all about that. Coming to the center part over here of the center console, you get the manual handbrake lever. There are a lack of cup holders and storage bins over here. However, you get certain small knick-knack storage spaces, such as this here is a large tray to place your wallet or maybe some tickets, and over here you get some coin holders, some other things, small things you would like to place over here. And you can see that this center tunnel is quite significantly large, so the rear seat passengers are definitely going to struggle for space. Well, more about the rear seats later. Well, that was all about the center console and the dashboard features over here. The headlamp controls are on the right side of the steering wheel. The cruise control is integrated to the headlamp stock over here on the left side, whereas the wiper controls are on the right side. So that was all. Coming to the driver door, you get the lock buttons and you get the electronically adjustable ORVM buttons as well. You can also auto fold the ORVMs by just twisting this knob completely on the opposite side. So that is quite helpful. This here is actually the indication for the engine immobilizer. So that is a nifty placement. And the highlight of this Volkswagen Polo Highline GT TSI is that you get all 4 one-touch down and one-touch up windows with anti-pinch function as well. Let me just demonstrate the anti-pinch function. As you can see, so that works really very well. All the windows get one-touch down and up function with anti-pinch function as well. So that is going to be very helpful for families. And that was it. The seats, of course, are very comfortable at the front, and despite being fabric, they look really premium, and the texture, the finish, everything is befitting that of a premium hatchback. The glove box, of course, is very large, and it also gets an interior illumination as well, and the door pockets are also large enough to hold 1-liter bottles. So that was all about the front part of the Volkswagen Polo's cabin. Coming to the roof, of course, you get auto dimming electrochromic IRVM. The sun visors are of very good quality, with only the passenger side getting a vanity mirror, and the interior cabin lamp is located only at the front, and that too is only a yellow bulb. So it is okay. However, there are a lot of nice quality touches on the Volkswagen Polo, and mainly the important thing is that this is so awesome to drive, be it in the city or on the highways. So let's just get to the back seat. Yes folks, I am right now in the back seat of the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI Highline variant. This here is the automatic, and you can see that the dashboard still looks classy. However, it is now around 10 years old, well, more than 10 years old. So, well, people who like flamboyant designs will definitely let go of the Volkswagen Polo's cabin. However, it still is probably the best built cabin altogether. Now, coming to the rear seats, of course, this is all the space you get. As you can see, this is not a very good condition. My knees are almost wedged inside the front seat, the driver seat to be precise, and I have adjusted the driver seat for my height, which is 5'11" for reference, and this is all the space I get. So this is where the Polo struggles. The overall space, the rear seat comfort is definitely not as good as any other premium hatchback. However, the good part is that the seats themselves are rather very comfortable. You get nice long seat squab, so the thigh support is nowhere lacking. It is really very comfortable despite the lack of legroom. If you are a shorter driver, the rear seat passengers will definitely feel a bit more comfortable. The rear seats also offer adjustable headrests on this top spec variant, and so does the Highline Plus variant offer adjustable headrests for the rear seat passengers. So that is quite good again. The rear windows also offer one-touch up and down function with anti-pinch as well. Now coming to other safety features, of course, well, there is nothing much of safety features on the Volkswagen Polo except for ESP, traction control, dual airbags, ABS and EBD. Of course, there are other things such as pre-tensioner equipped seat belts, engine immobilizer and flip key with remote central locking. So no side curtain airbags, and well, that's it. So that was all about the rear seats of the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI Highline automatic variant. Now let's check out the boot space quickly.
Opening the boot of the Volkswagen Polo is a special affair because you have to pop open the badge, and opening the boot will reveal 280 liters of overall luggage capacity, which is plain. However, it is very good enough, if not the best in class. There is good amount of thick carpeting all around, and you also get the option of flat folding rear seats to improve the overall luggage space. Pulling the tags on the shoulders of the rear seat will reveal a lot of luggage space if you want to load larger items. Opening the boot floor will reveal a 14-inch steel spare wheel well integrated into the boot floor. Of course, this is a temporary spare wheel meant to be used only up to 80 km/h temporarily. So that was all about the boot space and the luggage capacity of the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI. Let's now shut the boot and take a look at the engine bay. Opening the bonnet of the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI 6-speed automatic, this here is the very same 1-liter 3-cylinder TSI turbo petrol engine, producing up to 110 PS of maximum power and a torque output of 175 Nm through either a 5-speed manual transmission or a 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox. This engine is very smooth and exceptionally refined for a 3-cylinder engine and is very eager and responsive as well. This is probably the best turbocharged petrol engine in the market under 10 lakh rupees today. As you can see, there is ample amount of sound deadening material under the bonnet and on the firewall. So that was all about the powertrain of the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI. Let's now conclude this review.
So that was a detailed test drive review of the new Volkswagen Polo GT TSI Highline automatic variant. I think that this transmission is even faster and smoother than the DSG, and it is absolutely worth it if you are an automotive enthusiast. So do let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about this new Volkswagen Polo torque converter automatic transmission. The prices are on the screen to check out the new torque converter automatic range of the Volkswagen Polo. Meanwhile, this is Viprajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.